An unusual bright yellow submarine was caught on camera off of San Clemente Island near San Diego, California, and the intriguing images spread like wildfire around the internet in early 2019. The first photo appears to show a tug towing the mysterious vessel into position, while in the second, a crew of Navy personnel seems to be submerging her. However, it was not just the vehicle's vivid color that drew the public's attention. This enigmatic submarine bore an eerie resemblance to North Korea's Sang-O, or Shark class, a lethal torpedo-laden diesel-electric military submarine designed for missions ranging from minelaying to special forces insertion. As sharp-eyed commentators pointed out the similarities with the Sang-O, online forums were ablaze with heated discussions regarding the submarine's true identity and exactly what it was doing in American waters. Before long, experts began speculating that a highly classified operation had led to the United States successfully capturing a submarine from the North Koreans. If this were the case, the question remained of what they were using it for now and why they were keeping it hidden from the public. Just as intrigue surrounded the enigmatic yellow submarine off San Clemente Island, War Thunder offers a similarly captivating experience as one of the most historically accurate vehicle combat games ever. Not only is it free to play on PC and consoles, but it showcases over 2,500 meticulously crafted vehicles spanning air, land, and sea. From the clandestine maneuvers of military submarines to the thunderous roar of fighter jets, War Thunder's attention to detail brings to life the epic battles of 10 major nations with unmatched realism. But War Thunder isn't just a game. It's an immersive experience with realistic graphics and sound effects that seamlessly transport you into the heart of battles where strategy intertwines with history. With a global community exceeding 70 million players, every decision and maneuver you make holds weight, shaping the outcomes of epic conflicts. What truly distinguishes War Thunder for us is its advanced vehicle damage model, a meticulously crafted system that vividly portrays the real-time consequences of your strategic choices. Whether you're drawn to the adrenaline-fueled intensity of arcade battles or crave the authenticity of simulator combat, War Thunder caters to every player's preferences and playstyles. Embark on your War Thunder journey for free on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox. Click the link in the description below and access an exclusive bonus pack designed for new users and returning players who haven't played in at least 6 months, featuring premium vehicles, the prestigious Eagle of Valor decorator, 100,000 silver lions, and 7 days of premium account access. Act fast, as this offer is only available for a limited time. Seize the opportunity and leave your mark on War Thunder's rich history. As the totalitarian North Korean government goes to great lengths to keep its military capabilities under wraps, many details about the Sang-O class are still shrouded in secrecy. However, it's believed that the Sang-O is the most common submarine used by the Korean People's Navy, the maritime branch of the country's armed forces, with reports suggesting there could be up to 40 units currently in operation. At approximately 115 feet long, and with a submerged displacement of around 325 tons, it is likely the second largest of North Korea's indigenously built submarines after the Sinpo or Gorae class. It is understood construction of the Sang-O class submarines began in 1991 at the Sinpo shipyards, with an initial production rate of 4 to 6 submarines annually by 1996. However, production seemed to slow in 1997, with only 3 submarines reportedly built, and it is still uncertain how many, if any, were constructed in the years that followed. Boasting 4 533mm torpedo tubes and the capacity to transport up to 16 mines, the Sang-O plays a significant part in helping North Korea pose a lethal threat to the naval assets of neighboring South Korea, with which it has been locked in an intense and bitter rivalry since the division of the country in 1945 led to the formation of the two ideologically opposed states. However, when the Sang-O class submarine made headlines around the world in 1996, it was not because of an underwater attack on their enemy's ships, but for its key role in a dramatic clandestine mission. On September 15th of that year, the Sang-O transported a 3-person Special Operations Reconnaissance Team to South Korea's east coast near Jeongdongjin, 12 miles southeast of Gangneung, Gangwon-do. While their immediate assignment was to gather data on the naval presence in the area before returning, this was actually part of a larger plan involving a total of 26 commandos to assassinate South Korean President Kim Jong-sam while he opened a national sports event in nearby Chuncheon 3 weeks later. Having failed in its initial attempt to collect the team on September 16th, the Sang-O went back the next day to try again. However, this time, things were to turn out even worse for the North Koreans, as the submarine unexpectedly ran aground. Despite their best efforts, the crew members were unable to free her, leaving them little choice but to start a fire to destroy the sensitive equipment inside before splitting up into small groups and endeavoring to escape on land. When one group drew suspicion from a local taxi driver, the authorities were alerted, leading to a 49-day-long manhunt that would eventually lead to the demise or capture of all but one of the 26 commandos. Meanwhile, the Sang-ho-class submarine was salvaged by the South Korean authorities, and it was subsequently put on display at Tongdeol Park near Gangneung to serve as a reminder of North Korean infiltration attempts and as a piece of military history. Despite a brief improvement in the relationship between the two countries in the early 2000s, in recent years, North Korea has continued to escalate tensions with South Korea and their American allies by making clear its nuclear ambitions and engaging in a series of military provocations. In March 2010, the South Korean corvette ROKS Chonan sank near Baekjeong Island in the Yellow Sea, leading to the tragic loss of 46 sailors. International investigators concluded that a North Korean torpedo caused the sinking. While the exact type of submarine used in the attack is unknown, there is certainly a reasonable chance it was a Sang-ho class. As tensions between North and South Korea have remained fraught in the ensuing years, the risk of all-out war breaking out is never too far away. Were that to happen, there's little doubt that the Sang-ho would serve as a pivotal element in North Korea's maritime operations. Considering the strong likelihood of the Sang-ho submarine's participation in any possible future conflict with North Korea, it's clear that capturing a Sang-ho submarine would be highly beneficial to the United States. However, the strange vehicle in the photos was not an enemy vessel, nor was it even a functioning submarine at all. In reality, it was a life-size steel replica known as the Weapon Set to Hit Threat Target, or WSTTT, constructed in San Diego for U.S. Navy use. The sophisticated tool had been created to aid the Operational Test and Evaluation Force, or OPTEV-4, in assessing anti-submarine warfare technologies by mimicking the characteristics of potential underwater threats. With construction beginning in the 2002 fiscal year, the WSTTT was ready between 2003 and 2004, incurring an overall expense of around $11 million, and was berthed near USS Dolphin, another trial submarine. The WSTTT's design allowed for it to be temporarily submerged for testing purposes before being brought back to the surface. Unlike real submarines, the WSTTT lacked any propulsion of its own, so this had to be done by a team of divers. During testing, it was subjected to a series of torpedo attacks. Primarily, it was aimed to bolster the development of the Mark 54 lightweight torpedo and enhance the Mark 48 heavyweight torpedo. However, the torpedoes used in these experiments were unarmed. They had been stripped of their warheads, meaning they could hit the WSTTT without causing an explosion. Nonetheless, it is likely that even in this state, the physical impact from the torpedoes would cause some damage, though exactly how much remains unclear. In any case, the U.S. Navy's exploration with the WSTTT was short-lived. A malfunction during a Mark 54 torpedo test in 2006 led to the vessel sinking off the coast of San Clemente, and this time it was not part of the drill. Although initial salvage plans were made in 2007, budget constraints led to their cancellation. It seemed that there may have been a glimmer of hope for the WSTTT in January 2009, when a Navy salvage team on the USNS Navajo carried out an inspection of the wreck using the deep drone remotely operated vehicle in order to evaluate its current state and decide if it would be worth attempting to raise it. However, this operation has not resulted in further efforts to recover the WSTTT. In 2011, the Navy acquired a groundbreaking underwater drone to replace the WSTTT from UK company M-Subs, now part of the Submergence Group in the US. The Mobile Anti-Submarine Training Target, or MAST, is a 75-foot, 65-ton behemoth, probably making it the largest unmanned underwater vessel out there. The MAST outshines the WSTTT in virtually all aspects. For example, one particularly useful feature is the fact that unlike the WSTTT, she has the capability for self-propulsion, which is done electrically. Once its lead-acid batteries are fully juiced up, this unmanned Leviathan can traverse over 65 miles underwater, cruising stealthily at a speed of around 3.5 miles per hour. Another advantage of the MAST is its user-friendly operation, as remote control allows operators to steer it through the depths and adjust its diving level with ease, adding a layer of versatility. Upon delivery, The mast was taken to the Acoustic Research Detachment, an important facility for testing new Navy warships located on a lake in Bayview, Idaho. After a period of 11 months of fine-tuning, the next chapter of the mast's journey unfolded in 2012 when she was transferred for further evaluation to the Naval Undersea Warfare Center, or NUWC, in San Diego, a hub of maritime innovation and the former home of its predecessor, the WSTTT. The mast's final evaluation came in 2015. During a critical 12-day test, the unmanned Marvel spent an unprecedented 7 hours beneath the waves, marking its longest dive to date. Not only did she excel underwater, but she also completed a 15-mile voyage on the surface, its longest yet. Since then, the mast has continued to be utilized by the U.S. Navy for threat detection analysis training, countermeasures, and torpedo system testing, remaining stationed at the NUWC. Meanwhile, further developments and advancements in autonomous submarine technology continue to shape the future of underwater warfare and training. For instance, the Royal Navy's interest in large autonomous submarines like the Manta indicates a trend toward exploring new operational concepts and the potential use of unmanned systems in various naval applications. While the U.S. Navy hasn't expressed any plans to expand its own fleet of target submarines, as submarine technology leaps forward around the world, it may soon be time to do so. Countries like Russia and China are not only perfecting stealthier diesel-electric submarines with sophisticated air-independent propulsion, but also enhancing their nuclear-powered fleets. Moreover, the international sales of these advanced submarines mean the United States could face a broader array of underwater foes in the future, and it will need to ensure its defenses are up to the task. The Navy's original North Korean-inspired yellow submarine may continue to languish on the ocean floor, but its legacy looks likely to live on. Thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring our video. Join the fray for free on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox using our link below and unlock exclusive bonuses for newcomers and returning players that haven't played in 6 months. Take advantage of this exclusive opportunity to elevate your gaming experience while supporting our content. See you on the battlefield.